Yesterday I did a video about why I don't like sleds, and I mentioned sparring, and I want to talk to you about a sparring grid. Now, I never called it a sparring grid, I just called it a grid, but basically I made a grid of squares 2 yards by 2 yards. Okay, that would be a square, 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 square. And what I would say to the defenders and the blockers was, look, in position one, I want your feet outside of the square. Okay, the no man's land, the neutral zone. And when these guys got into 3-point stances, they were pretty close to the neutral zone, the length of a football. And it was very quick and efficient. And what I'd do is I'd have three guys. I'd have a defender, a blocker, and an observer. And these two guys would commence to spar, and then after the drill, the defender would go back to become the observer. The observer would step up and become the blocker, and the blocker would go over and become the defender. And we would rotate that through. And I'd have pairs, or not pairs. I'd have three trios all the way down the line. You got to give a little space, so there'd be a trio working here, there'd be a space, and a trio working here, and a space, and etc. And it was very efficient, very fast. And the way I would coach it, I'd say, this is pretty simple. All right, we're going to align in a green light alignment. I wouldn't say this. I'd just say, look, you come over here, you put your right foot on the line, okay, outside the box, and you put your right foot on the line, and guess what? We're in a green light. Okay, there's a neutral zone, and everything's good. And we'd work on scoots, matches, pass rush, anything we wanted to work on, okay, we'd work on it from a green light alignment. Maybe I'd say to this guy, I want to get a little more in the gap. I'd say, okay, put both feet in that box. So now we'd have more of a gap thing. We could work down blocks, all right? It was very quick, very efficient. Okay, I want to try and stop saying okay so much. The next thing we would do, we would work on yellow light, which is 2-gap. And I'd say, okay, you put your right foot on the line, you put your left foot on the line. And we'd work bull rushes, where you'd have to take the short set. Okay, quick jab with the left foot, and then stagger with the right foot. I couldn't think of it. And you do whatever I tell you to do. All right, you go in, go there, whatever. And then one of my favorite drills was the ear hole Apache drill. So I would say to this guy, the defender, I'd say, I want you to take a long stick. I want you to turn and sprint down the line. And this guy, I'd say, okay, stay as square as you can, and Apache. And ideally, you couldn't beat him on the cut him off, but you would ear hole him and knock him that way. It was pretty good. All right. And another alignment we did was the jet alignment, and we would do all of these things, or any of them, and I'd just say, look, you put your right foot on this line, you put your right foot on that line, and we would work the jet. It was pretty good, pretty efficient. We'd pass rush, we'd try to get cover on a jet. The guy stayed here, or 2-gapped us, we'd get the cover. If he jetted across the line, we'd wind up plowing him to the sideline. It was all good. If he long stick, we'd have to stuff him back to the guard, and we could work all of our techniques. That is how we sparred.